Awesome. Well, hello and welcome to Empower Hour. It is wonderful to see you here today. Empower Hour is only having 2 meetings this month, so today and next Wednesday. So if you can come next Wednesday, please do. Otherwise, jump on with us today. Today we have a wonderful speaker. Her name is Lorraine. Miss Lorraine is a Lorraine Duncan. What she's going to be speaking about today is that here's her bio or her thing here. Many people think they do not have time for LinkedIn, even when they understand it is an important social media tool. In fact, 13 minutes a day is all you need to build engaging and grow your business. Would you like to learn how to make the magic happen in only 13 minutes? Well, this is exactly what Miss Lorraine Duncan is going to do right now. So please welcome and applaud for Miss Lorraine Duncan.
Thank you for having me. This is really exciting. I'm so enjoying being a part of this group today because it's so nice that there's so many entrepreneurs out, on this Zoom call, but also out there that need the support of everyone else. And the truth of the matter is guess what? There's plenty of business for everyone, and there's the right people for each and every one of you. But I wanted to, just because I'll just tell you just few things about myself, not a lot. You can go to my website and learn more about me in the About page. But I launched BizGone Social, which is my digital marketing agency, in 2013. And then I authored a book in 2018, Shout It Out, and had the opportunity of actually making it to number 3, not number 1. I was kind of sad about that, but making it to number 3. But I also have launched other books for other people and made them to number 1. So maybe someday when I launch my next book, I will get to number 1. But anyways, I have 4 adult children. This is at my 3rd child's wedding in last September. I'm thankful that we got the wedding in and COVID didn't happen yet. My book, it's free if you have Kindle Premium or Prime, and it's 99 cents if you don't. So it's not a big investment at all. I'm going to get right into it because I have a lot to cover, and I want to cover all the points that I promised that I would. So I think that it's really important. The number one thing before we get to the 13-minute system is you really do have to have a client attractive profile. You really do have to make sure that your profile is completely filled out on LinkedIn and you are actually at full boat. In some cases, if you go to your dashboard, it will say you are an all-star. So if you are an all-star, you have it all filled out. People, believe it or not, do read your LinkedIn profile. Yeah. So I want you to take some notes. One of the biggest things I like to tell my audience is that implement one thing. Implement what you think is going to work for you. And I think if you do one thing, there's so many times we attend all these courses and classes and hours to help each other, and people say these little nuggets. And just the mere fact of going through gratitude today reminded me that I have to do that more often. So the thing is do something. So I'm not going to share everything on my slides, but just know that there are over 10,000 new members on LinkedIn a day. And the bottom line or actually in 90 minutes, I should say. And that has changed. That statistic is even more now. And the bottom line, it changes all the time. But all this to say, here's some more stats. I'm not really going to read them all, but LinkedIn generates more leads for B2B companies than Facebook, Twitter, blogging individually. So the bottom line is a lot of people are missing out, especially if you're B2B and you're not on LinkedIn. So every one of you, especially on the Zoom call, can be involved in that because you're business owners and you can certainly get something out of LinkedIn for your business. So I think that it's really important to know strategy because that's what I really work with. I work with my clients on strategy, on social media strategy. So, why do you have to have a LinkedIn strategy? You want to really just build and strengthen your brand. You want to drive traffic. That could be, a reason why you want to be on LinkedIn, or you want to increase your conversion rate. Who doesn't? Like, seriously, online, the conversion rate is like 1 out of 10 million. I forget what it was. There was a statistic that I just read recently, but it's a lot more than if in person my conversion rate is so much better than my online conversion rate. So, I think that you always have to think about also when you're thinking of LinkedIn strategy, you want to know the how. So you have to have some kind of content plan, because a lot of people just go on LinkedIn and then they don't maybe fill out maybe their summary and their headline and put a nice picture up there or whatever, and they don't do anything else. But the biggest thing is you got to be active. You got to be active on your profile. You got to be active in the groups that you belong to in LinkedIn. You have to have goals and measurements. SMART goals are a really great thing to be involved in, and just something that is measurable. You need to know, like, if you want more traffic, you got to be able to track that somehow. And then you just want to integrate your overall marketing plan. That's just not your social media platforms, but you want to integrate even your online networking or in-person networking, which there's not a lot of that lately. So there's 3 kinds of LinkedIn user. Maybe you can identify with one of these. Ghost, they don't engage or post or connect. Then there's those recruiters or job hunters, which drive me absolutely crazy. And then there's the superstar, the ones that are really involved, the ones that are really making things happen on LinkedIn. And I always enjoy to see the superstar. I'm a superstar because it says it on LinkedIn, not because I'm touting that I'm a superstar, but I'm involved in LinkedIn, and you'll always see me post something that's relevant that will help business owners. So a couple things I just want to go over that's important with your brand on LinkedIn. Again, I'll say this: to be an all-star on LinkedIn, you have to have a great photo. And that was one of the reasons why, if you noticed in my very second slide, I showed a picture of myself. You've probably seen all different versions of pictures of me, but that was one photo shoot about 1.5 years ago. And yeah, I got much older now, 1.5 years now, and I'm not wearing makeup today, so oh well. But the bottom line is that you really do have to have a professional headshot, because this is business to business. You've got to be professional. The picture of, like, the selfie, don't do a selfie, because what happens, look what happens when I lift my arm up like this. It elongates my body. It makes my head look smaller, and it makes my body look like elongated. And it really doesn't look good. So even if you can't get a professional headshot, what I suggest is have somebody take a picture and just make sure you have a nice smile and your hair is combed. That's about it. I mean, so you want to just make sure you have a headline that's going to attract clients, not attract, remember, especially if you're B2B and you're not looking for a job, you don't want to attract the recruiters and the job people. So you want to have that headline facing towards your clients. If they were coming to your profile for the very first time, you want them to see and connect with, oh, I help people, do social media. Well, what kind of social media? I'm a photographer. Well, what kind of photographer? Are you a wedding photographer? I'm a virtual assistant. Well, what do I specialize in? But make it more so it's like whatever they need, that's what you want to give them. Because in the long run, it really isn't about you. You want to make sure that you're linking some media in your thing. And if I have time at the end, I'll go on to my LinkedIn just to kind of show you a few things that I've done. You want to make sure your summary, again, is client attractive, and make sure that you say in your summary, it's not like, don't do this. I did this, this. I want all these awards and I'm amazing, and just, you need to buy my stuff, and you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. No, what you want to do is, I help my clients do this, X, Y, and Z. I help my clients. When clients work with me, this happens. So you want to think about that in those terms. These things have to be all done before we get to 13 minutes a day. That's why I'm going over it really quick. And so you want to make sure you have at least your 3 previous experiences when it comes to experiences, your work job experiences, and only put the ones that are relevant to what you're doing now. For instance, I was a paper girl when I was 13 years old. You know what? That's not relevant to what I do now. So, not that it's not a good job. I mean, it's like at 13 years old, it was an amazing job, but the bottom line is that you want to put things that are relevant so people could see your skill set. And that's what you want to show. You want to put your skills. You can move those around. You can have up to, it used to be 30. Somebody said they moved it to 50 now, but you can have 30 skills, but you want your top 3 skills. So for instance, I'm a digital marketing agency, but I don't want to be known only as a digital marketing agency. I want to be known as a speaker and author, and then social media marketing. So I put it in that order: speaker, author, and I change them around every once in a while. Education, so where I'm from, I live in Fairfield County, Connecticut. Education is very important. So if you do have the education, you want to make sure you fill that out, because it's even really great as a business owner to be able to connect with alumni from maybe people you went to school with. And, so I'm doing a reach out campaign for somebody on LinkedIn right now, and they want to connect with people who are from Duke University because that's where they went to. So that's what I'm doing. And they actually had a certain criteria and a certain age. So those are things that you can do when you put those things down, because people might want to connect with you because you are an alumni of something. And also they want to do, sometimes, when somebody wants to hire you, it does matter to some people that you have completed something. Certificates are fine and all that. So, whatever education, put your education down, and then whatever certificates you have, I think there's a place for that too now. You want to have at least 50 contacts. So you want to be connected to at least 50 people. So, and the other thing is you want to make sure that you have your own LinkedIn profile links. So like I'm LinkedIn, Lorraine, Duncan. Okay. So make sure you tailor that. You may not get your name because somebody else might have it. There was another Lorraine Duncan, and she's actually a photographer. So it was kind of funny, but I was able to get my name. I think I got it before she did. So those are just the main things. I just really briefly, I think these are probably things that if you guys are using, I should say if you ladies are using LinkedIn, that you probably already done. But I just want to just reiterate how important that is. So again, fill in your profile, 10 quick tips for your brand. You want to fill in everything in your profile. So it will tell you, well, if you go to your dashboard, sometimes it will start saying you need to update this or you need to update this. Make sure you do that. Or maybe you don't just want that on your profile, and that's okay too. So you just skip it. So you want to think of, a network or an e-mingle. So I heard somebody, let me just see if I think it was Ada. She talked about her group, and I'm sure she has a certain group of people and a certain group of people that she wants to connect with. And so that's the same thing that you want to do in LinkedIn. So there may be certain people you want to connect with. So you want to look for those groups. Those are just an extension, so for instance, I work for a real estate agent. So a group, it could be anything. It could be the people who you're strategic partners with, you can connect with. You can connect with other real estate people, or you can connect with people that could be your ideal clients. So you want to search that. So for instance, there's tons of entrepreneur groups on LinkedIn, and they have thousands, millions of, members, and I suggest do a semi-small one, because the bigger ones, you get lost in the crowd. What you're doing with the strategy is with the groups, you just want to go in, you want to see if there's anybody asking a question that you can answer. Believe it or not, once you answer a question, it could be anything. Somebody asked me how to set up a Facebook profile. Where do you go? For a Facebook business page, I should say. And I just answered the question. And this person thinks I'm an expert at what I do. But the bottom line is if you write something or you put something on paper or you answer a question, they're automatically going to go to, well, you're the go-to person. And I've become the go-to person for that person. So, so you just want to feed your network with goodies and content. That's a really great brand strategy, and it should be relevant to your crowd, to your tribe, or whatever you want to call them, your avatar. And the bottom line is it should be good, relevant content that they can use. It doesn't have to be a lot. LinkedIn isn't like Facebook and Instagram where you have to post 3 times a day. But LinkedIn, you should at least be posting once or twice a week. Okay, and if you do a blog already, or if you're on the other social channels, it's just a matter of sharing over. So you always want to, when you're inviting somebody to connect with you, big strategy, folks. I get so many generic invites, and I usually say no. So if you're going to connect with me today, on LinkedIn, you want to go to my LinkedIn profile and you just want to just write, hey, I heard you speak today. Take the time to write that personal note, all right? Because it means all the difference. Because, you know, social media, LinkedIn, it's all about relationships. You're not going to get business from a stranger. You're going to get business from people who know you, like you, and trust you. So you want to make sure that you take the extra time if you're going to spend on LinkedIn and write a personal message. Again, have a group strategy. I have over 50 groups. I got about 51 groups. I think they only allow you 50, but I got an extra one in there. I literally just choose one group per week to work in. And then I go back. So you want to be visible. So how do you become visible is that you do want to be connecting with people. You do want to be commenting on people's, you know, common sense commenting, not like what I ate for breakfast. And you want to post things, and that helps you get a little bit more visible. So, and you just want to start giving. Another thing that really helps you being involved in it, and this will help you too, because it's important to have, I didn't even mention that in the profile, but it's actually important to have current recommendations. So give honest recommendations and you will receive the same. So what I mean by that is that I have been approached by many people to give a recommendation for their business that I didn't know. And so I, within integrity, could not give them a recommendation. And they got mad at me, and then they decided they didn't want to be connected with me. And that's fine, because if I've not done work with you, how can I give a recommendation? So that's why I put honest recommendations. And then you just want to integrate the LinkedIn, your LinkedIn URL, that unique link that you're going to create if you don't have one. And you want to just put it in your auto signature and any filling in the blanks on any other of your platforms. And so people ask me what they share. So I'm just going to share just a few things. You can share tips and advice. You can share activities and events. You can do pictures, videos. Articles are always great. I like to do a lot of articles from Forbes, USA Today, Business Weekly, you know, so things that will help business owners. And here's my actually extra bonus tip is when I'm networking and somebody talks about a struggle that they're having, I try to find something, even if it's not in my field, I will try to find an article or something that can help them. And so when I reach out with them on LinkedIn, I'm helping them. So you always want to, I'm a member of BNI, so you always want to give, because the bottom line is when you give sometimes, and Brendan Burchard always says, double down on your giving, you know, double down on it. And if you give, believe it or not, I don't even think about, I'm sure there's tons of people I've given something to and got nothing back in return. But you know what? I always, at some point, somebody always gives when you're least not expecting it. And it's amazing, to be honest with you. It makes me very happy. And so articles you can share, you could do like a what you do and who you are thing. Don't do that a lot, but do it every once in a while. You could start discussions. LinkedIn has the polls now. They just started that probably in June. I think that first came out. Here's the story. Don't make a mistake in it because you can't edit it. So try to make sure you proofread it over and over again. Because I made a mistake, and then of course everybody pointed out that I made a mistake. It's always good that way. So, and recommendations, again, recommendations. Let me tell you something. People read your recommendations. I got 2 jobs on LinkedIn just because of recommendations. So really kind of cool. All right, here it is. Here's what y'all been waiting for, right? This is my 13 minutes a day strategy. So this is for the busy entrepreneur. We all are, but I feel that we shouldn't be spending, 13 to 14 hours a day on social media. And I know some may, and I'm going to tell you stop, because at some point you have to do work and you have to, earn a living. So, because we're not hobby owners here, we're real people, we're entrepreneurs, and we have to do business. So I suggest pick your time when you're going to do 13 minutes a day. Mine's in the morning. I go on and I view. Now I'm a premium member, so I see everyone who views my profile. So if I look to see who's viewing my profile and it's all social media people, that means I have to tweak something. I have to change what's in my profile because I'm attracting social media people. That's why I moved to speaker and author, because now I don't attract that many social media people. And I am friends with social media people. So that's, and other digital agencies. So that's just 2 minutes. You don't want to spend a lot of time on that. You just want to see who's looking at you and seeing if the right kind of people are looking at you. And then it usually means that you need to, if it's not, you just need to tweak your headline or your summary. And that's basically all you have to do. 4 minutes on connecting. So this is the connect. This is where you connect. You send some messages to connect. What I suggest is either if you're connecting from the LinkedIn app on your phone, you have like a template of something a little bit more personalized. And I do about 5 a day, and I always have to change the template that I've made, to who it's to, and also if I'm sending something more that because I've met you before and I want to make it more personal. So always make it personal, and also always with your invitations and answers. So that takes about 4 minutes. Don't spend more than that. Connect with about 5 people, and think about that. If you connected 13 minutes a day, 5 people, 5 days a week, because we don't do LinkedIn on weekends. Some people do, but Monday morning comes, and that's when I look at LinkedIn again. So I take the weekend off. That's 25 people a week. Maybe not all of them will connect with you, but so say that maybe 20 people, that's 20 new connections, but it's personal. It's, and you can start establishing a relationship with them, find out what they need. And you can do that through messaging back and forth. You want to check your tabs. Okay, that's the gray bar or the blue bar across. You want to check your messages. You want to check your connections. You want to do all that. You want to check your notifications. You don't want to miss anything. And you want to always go to your home and see what's going on there. Even if you're a job hunter, you do want to check your jobs. That's why I added that. But that's the tab that you're looking at. It's home, my network, jobs, messages, and notifications. So that should take less than 3 minutes, but I gave you 3 minutes for it. And then of course accepting. So here's my big thing: 4 minutes for accepting. Accept about, like, I get to my LinkedIn profile and I sometimes have about 114 when I go there each morning. And so I don't accept them right away. I look at their profiles. I see if they're active. I see if my criteria, this is just my criteria. You can make your own criteria, is that they have to have a complete profile. They have to have at least over 200, 300 people. And I also can see, because I have a premium member and I go into Sales Navigator, I could literally see if they're active, when the last time they were on Facebook. So if somebody hasn't been on Facebook, if somebody hasn't been on LinkedIn for, 6 months, I'm not going to want to connect with them, because they're just probably looking in the spam, so that's my 13 minutes a day thing. You could take a screenshot of this if you'd like. It's, it really works for me because I'm really, really busy, because I do managing of social media. So that's time consuming. So this is what I have time for, and this is what works for me. So how to succeed on LinkedIn, because it's a growth hack. The growth hack is how to succeed. Don't approve connections and do nothing else. So this isn't trick or treat for people. We don't trick or treat people. We literally want to, the whole reason for LinkedIn is we want to make good, solid business connections. Take time to learn how LinkedIn can be best used for you. Also do research. There's a search bar
that's amazing.
On the top bar. You want to just search, see what other people in your field are doing. So I think, I want to think that I heard that there was a virtual assistant on the line here. And so if you're a virtual assistant, look to see what other virtual assistants are doing. Don't copy them, but just see what they're doing. Put up some goals, a content plan, and follow it. Whatever you decide. I want to connect with 20 people a week. I want to have a meaningful conversation with one person, whatever that is. Make it okay for you. Don't do, if 25 people is too much, like me, don't worry about what I do. Do 2 people a day. Whatever makes sense for you. I think people get so overwhelmed. There's never failure in just moving one step forward. Even if it's, I'm going on LinkedIn, I'm going to spend 13 minutes a day on it. That's it. So I'm not going to get into this whole group strategy branding, but just know how important it is. There's all different kinds of groups. You can see them. There's 2.1 million groups, probably more now since I did this slide. I did the slide about a month ago for another talk. So the bottom line is there's much more now. So I just want to just say this. I want to give you an opportunity to get in touch with me. This is my digital Easy card. And if you take your phone out and you text BizGo on social to the number 64600, and I'll leave it up, you'll see that there's schedule a free LinkedIn profile audit. It's 30 minutes. It will say an hour in my time trade link, but don't worry about it. We usually go more than 30 minutes. But the bottom line is I just tell you what you need to improve. It's totally free. It's on me. It's my way of giving back. And then I'd love you in the second one when you actually get that link. So what will happen is you type that number in, you'll get a message from me. You just click on that link. It will give you my card, and you have everything. My cell phone number, you have everything. But what I was going to say is that I'd love you to connect with me on LinkedIn or in my Facebook group. I have a private Facebook group, and it's very private. I don't have it open to the public at all. So if you just, if I recognize most of you from this group, but if you say in a message to me that you heard me or on Facebook Live or whatever, you can definitely contact me through that. I just don't want any spammers in the group, because that's what sometimes happens, or you get the weird people that, want to do inappropriate things. So I'm just really careful. So that's it. I wanted to leave some time for questions. I didn't know how much time I had, so I apologize. And so any questions that anybody has, and if I can help you now, I will. So you just have to unmute.
Lorraine, thanks so much. I've got a question. I am not a premium member, and I used to be able to go into my LinkedIn profile with sales /SSI and get to that screen, and I can no longer do it. Has something changed, or am I doing something wrong?
I haven't done that screen in a very long time, so I don't even know if it exists anymore. So now I actually do not know the answer, but I could get that answer for you. So just to let you know that I can find that out. I go in, that screen is not there anymore unless somebody else gets it. I do not. Unfortunately, too, for anybody so if you're not a premium member, I no longer see the below features anymore. And I've been a premium member since probably LinkedIn started premium. So I don't even know I have to go to my husband's profile thing to see what that is. So I'll check it out on his, and I'll see if I can find it for you.
Thank you.
Nice. Does anybody else have any other questions before we wrap up?
Yeah, this is Christina Matcham. So great job, by the way. So I use mostly Facebook. I'm just learning Instagram. Well, I do a little bit Instagram, but LinkedIn is probably the one I use the least, but I do want to get better at it. So my question, I guess, is how do you balance out? I mean, from what I hear, you need to get really good at one, but I feel like I would like to get good at all three. But LinkedIn definitely is the one that I need some help with. So I might take you up on that 30-minute. And what's the difference between having the regular or the premium, paying for the premium, especially if I'm not using it as much, which I need to, though, probably.
Okay, so just full disclosure, I get no money for pushing or touting premium. I always suggest newbies or people who are not that active on LinkedIn yet not to waste their money on premium until they're getting so busy and they're getting so many connections in. Don't tell LinkedIn I told you that, but because they're always going to try to upgrade you to something more. But I learn the platform first before you become a premium. That's what I always tell people. Now, let me just answer the other question you have, because you said, well, I'm on Facebook, a little bit dabbling on Instagram, and then barely on LinkedIn. I used to be, so I've changed my mind over and over again. This is why we evolve when we come to our marketing and stuff like that. But I used to feel that you really should get good at one thing and do that well. And then once you can do that well and you're doing it really good, then you want to move to the next platform. A little bit of tip on Instagram, if you're not spending time on Instagram and you're not connecting with people on Instagram, and you're not reaching out with DMs and using that a lot, and you're not hitting the influencers, you're not gonna, Instagram is not gonna work for you. And I'm still learning Instagram, and I teach on Instagram. I can teach on Instagram because I know a lot about it and I know how it works because I do it for other clients. But sometimes my own marketing is kind of funny because I mean, I grew from 0, but I still can't get that ever elusive 10,000 followers on Instagram. And I've been working my butt off to do that. You really do have to have those 10,000 followers to be anything on Instagram. And don't ever buy followers, likes, shares, whatever you need. Just get them the real or the organic way. And then LinkedIn. So all I'm saying is you could do Facebook and LinkedIn at the same time, but really get to know Instagram, know your people, know what they like. And to do that, you have to be on Instagram all the time. And so LinkedIn, I think, is just such a great place to be because it's B2B, you know, and unfortunately, some of the Facebook users think it's C2B sometimes, or Facebook to LinkedIn, and they start putting pictures of their lunch and selfies and memes, which is not a place for LinkedIn at all. And there's a group of us will snub that, meaning that we want to keep LinkedIn professional. Mm-hmm. And so Facebook and Instagram, you can do the fun stuff, or TikTok, you can, you know, and the emojis, and, you know, you can use emojis on LinkedIn. So I'm not saying you can't, and you can use, you know, GIFs every once in a while, like in a comment, but you don't want to, you know, do that.
GIFs, what does that mean?
Thank you so much. That was good.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for being here with us today. We really appreciate it. And thank you so much to Lorraine for all of the amazing information. I just have to say amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being here with us today at Empower Hour. We look forward to seeing you in the next month or so. Again, we have Empower Hour next Wednesday at 12. Please join us. Also, the Women's Business Network is meeting today at 11:30. Please join us for that as well. We look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Bye, ladies.
Thank you, Stephanie.